Hi, Lisa here again with another educational video. This time I'm talking about one of my favorite topics, which is intellectual property. Um, it's also an incredibly complex topic, and there's no way I could even remotely adequately cover it in a minute and a half or so. But this is going to be a super high level overview that hopefully will at least give you enough information that you can then go to the appropriate attorney to help you and ask all the right questions. So let's start with what is IP? IP means intellectual property, and that can be anything in your business from your trade secrets, your brand, confidential information, inventions, designs, written material, digital media. And it is one of, if not the most valuable assets of your business. So it's really important that you correctly and completely protect it. And there are various ways to do that, which depend entirely on what the IP is. So the easiest way to protect any IP is just to keep it secret. So trade secrets, best way to keep your IP safe and secure, but probably the least practical because you often need to share it at least internally with staff, maybe externally with vendors. And sometimes IP is outward facing to your customers. So certainly keeping that secret is impossible. Think the content on your website. You can't keep that secret. Um, but when your IP is a trade secret that you are trying to protect, think recipe for Coca-Cola, you can limit sharing on a need to know basis. I think there are two people in that entire company that know the recipe. And then anyone that receives the information, you ask them to sign a non-disclosure agreement. But if your IP is outward facing, what do you do? So think about your website. Any content that you create and put on your website has copyright already attached to it. Copyrights automatically arise and belong to the creator when the work is made. So you can put your copyright notice on your website, and that sort of alerts the world that this is yours. And if you really want to strengthen your copyright interest, you can file for federal copyright protection, which then gives you access to the federal court system and statutory damages, which means that you might not even have to prove actual monetary loss to recover damages. Trademarks and service marks. Business owners love these, and rightly so. It certainly adds to the value of your business. Who doesn't like to see that little R in a circle after their logo? The way you do this, there's two ways. So one is you can file for protection within your state. That's when you would only be using the TM. It's a simple process, typically inexpensive, but it only protects your logo or service only to the borders of the state. If you want protection throughout the entire country and even possibly internationally, you need to file an application with the USPTO, which is the US Patent and Trademark Office. Now, I'm a big fan of DIY legal, obviously. However, federal trademark applications seem on the surface to be very simple, but they are incredibly nuanced, and I highly recommend that you hire an experienced trademark attorney to assist you with the application process. And then the last thing you can do to protect your IP is protect your inventions and designs by getting a patent. Again, this is governed by the US Patent and Trademark Office. There are experienced patent attorneys who actually have to take a separate bar exam to be able to file applications with the trademark office on behalf of clients. It's a highly specialized area of law, and it is also an incredibly nuanced application process. So again, not really something I suggest as a DIY project. But it's good for 20 years once you have completed it. And after that, the information in the patent becomes part of the public domain. So a conversation about the value and the cost and the investment is certainly warranted before rushing into patent protection. So hopefully this very, very brief, quick overview will at least allow you to ask the right questions as you move on to protect your business's IP.